At 12:01 p.m. today, we declared a provincial state of emergency due to the wildfire situation in northern Manitoba, as well as a couple of large communities going to mandatory evacuation over the past 24 hours.
More northern communities are getting their people out. Military transport planes and water bombers are in the air, and Manitoba is once again under a state of emergency. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hendricks. Mayor Lee is away. For the second time since late May, Manitoba has declared a province-wide state of emergency. Renewed wildfires are forcing thousands of people to flee, some for the second time in weeks. CTV's Devon McKendrick has the latest and what the order means for Manitobans.
At 12:01 p.m. today, we declared a provincial state of emergency.
For the second time this wildfire season, the Manitoba government has declared a state of emergency. This as two communities announced mandatory evacuations due to fires burning nearby.
The primary reason that we have called this latest state of emergency is because we need access to more facilities to be able to shelter this large number of Manitobans who are being forced to flee their homes due to wildfires.
Snow Lake declared a local state of emergency Wednesday night, saying all non-essential personnel needed to be out of the community by noon on Thursday. Then Garden Hill First Nation issued an evacuation notice. The Canadian Armed Forces was called in, and roughly 1,000 people were evacuated using Hercules planes. Another 3,000 are set to fly out commercially. Including the roughly 6,000 people who were evacuated Thursday, there are around 12,600 people who have been displaced. Evacuees coming to Winnipeg will be able to stay at congregate shelters set up at the Leela Soccer Centre, Billy Mosienko Arena, and shortly, Canoe says the RBC Convention Centre will be ready to house people as well. An event is scheduled there for this weekend, but the Premier says the province will work around it.
We are looking to scale up very quickly and doing our best to accommodate a balancing act between those activities and the very emergent needs of wildfire evacuees and northern communities across Manitoba.
This has been the worst wildfire season in the last 30 years, according to officials. As of July 8th, over 1 million hectares of land has burned, which is 11 times higher than the 20-year average of 94,000 hectares. The second worst season was in 2013, when around 720,000 hectares burned. Canoe is once again calling on all Manitobans to step up and help people in this time of need.
I really want to encourage us to work together the way that we did earlier in this wildfire season. This is a wildfire season that's setting records in all the wrong ways, but Manitobans are responding in all the right ones.
Devon McKendrick, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Now, despite this state of emergency declaration, officials say fire and travel restrictions are not changing at this time.
Most of these fires are lightning caused, and the others are arson or suspected arson, so a fire ban probably wouldn't have an impact.
At the moment, there are no provincial fire or travel restrictions in effect. However, travel permits are still required inside the boundaries of an active fire, and individual municipalities may have their own restrictions in place. The number of active fires in the province has climbed to 105, 7 more than Wednesday. And the Premier was asked to respond to complaints from some U.S. lawmakers that Canada isn't doing enough to curb wildfire smoke, which is drifting south and ruining the American summer. Have a listen.
Well, I've shaken the hands of American firefighters in northern Manitoba who are helping us out, and I would challenge these ambulance chasers in the U.S. Congress to go and do the same, and to hear how much the American firefighting heroes who are here, how much they loved our province.
The Premier went on to criticize the lawmakers for comments that he said trivialized a crisis in which people had died and lost their homes. In their letter to the Canadian ambassador, the representatives from Wisconsin and Minnesota suggested Canada make better use of technology and employ better forest management practices.